Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to really get into some dense sources and pull out insights you can actually use. And today we're looking at something quite unique, a collection of ancient scriptures, all focused around, well, blessing and protection.
Exactly. And our goal really is to see what these texts can tell us today about creating, real peace and security in our homes and our lives.
But these aren't just dusty old texts, are they?
Not at all. I mean, when you really look, they offer these timeless principles. It's almost like a spiritual blueprint for fostering safety, even prosperity.
So less about history, more about like active principles for flourishing.
Precisely. It's about the deeper roots of what makes a place or a life truly thrive. It goes way beyond just the physical stuff.
Okay, so let's start at the foundation then. When these scriptures mention a blessed dwelling, they often start with this idea of peace. We see things like peaceful habitation, secure dwellings, even quiet resting places.
Right, from Isaiah.
Yeah, and it feels like it means more than just, no arguing.
Oh, absolutely. The Hebrew word there, shalom, it's so much richer. It's about wholeness, completeness, well-being, prosperity. It covers everything, physical, spiritual, relational.
Wow, so when Psalm 122 talks about peace within your walls and security within your towers.
It's talking about that kind of deep, pervasive tranquility.
Yeah.
Something that fills every corner,
Yeah.
Affects the whole life lived there. It's really all-encompassing.
That's a powerful way to think about peace. And I love that image from Psalm 125. The Lord surrounding his people as the mountains surround Jerusalem.
It's such a vivid picture, isn't it? Like being completely held, protected on all sides.
Totally enveloped.
Yeah, like a protective embrace. And the thing is, this kind of peace, this security, it isn't just passive. It's something you build.
Build? How so?
Well, Proverbs gives us this great metaphor, doesn't it?
Yeah.
By wisdom, a house is built, and by understanding, it is established.
By knowledge, the rooms are filled with all precious and pleasant riches.
Exactly. So it's not just about the materials you use to build. It points to a real intentionality. The foundation matters. What you fill the house with matters. It's about the character, the purpose built into it.
So building with foresight, with values, not just stacking bricks.
Right. And that connects to, the wise man in Matthew who builds on the rock.
Because he hears God's words and actually does them.
Precisely. It's about action leading to stability, to resilience, especially when the storms come. It's being prepared.
And a huge part of that foundation seems to be commitment. Like Josh was saying, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord.
That's foundational. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a personal choice, but also a collective one for the household. It shapes everything, the atmosphere, the priorities, how people interact.
That commitment definitely sets the stage for the next big theme, which is this idea of divine presence and protection as a shield.
Yeah, a really powerful shield.
The descriptions are incredible. The Lord as my light and my salvation, the stronghold of my life. That sounds like more than just safety. It sounds like bedrock security.
It really is. And Psalm 46 reinforces that, calling God our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble.
Very present. That stands out.
It does. It means not some distant protector, but someone right there, involved, available immediately when things get tough.
And then you have Psalm 91. That one's just packed with imagery of security.
Oh, absolutely. A master class, like you said, God as a shelter, a refuge, a fortress.
It promises deliverance from traps, disease, fear.
Yeah.
Even talks about being covered with his pinions and under his wings. That feels very personal, tender almost.
It is remarkably personal.
Yeah.
And it goes on, promising angels guarding you in all your ways, that no evil shall befall you, no plague come near your tent.
Wow.
And you see similar things elsewhere, like Isaiah saying, no weapon that is fashioned against you shall succeed.
So it's not just that you'll be okay after something bad happens, but that the harm itself might not even reach you, or succeed if it does.
That's the essence of it, a fundamental security where even intended harm can't ultimately win. And Proverbs adds that the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous man runs into it and is safe.
Like an immediate safe room you can just run into.
Exactly.
Yeah.
An accessible refuge. And then there's the unseen aspect too.
Ah, right. Like the angel of the Lord.
Psalm 34 says the angel encamps around those who fear him and delivers them. It's comforting, isn't it? This idea of unseen protection working behind the scenes.
It really is. And that story with Elisha, that's just fascinating.
Oh, 2 kings, yeah.
His servant is terrified of the army surrounding them.
Understandably.
Right. But Elisha prays, and suddenly the servant sees the mountain filled with horses and chariots of fire.
It's an amazing moment. It just pulls back the curtain, showing these powerful, unseen, divine forces that are actually present and active really shifts your perspective.
It makes you wonder what else is going on that we just don't see.
Exactly. And that leads into how we handle fear and anxiety in our own lives. Isaiah 43 offers such comfort. Fear not, when you pass through the waters, I will be with you. Through fire, you shall not be burned.
It doesn't promise no fire or water, though.
No, it doesn't promise an absence of challenges, but it promises God's presence and help through them. That's the key difference.
And Joshua and Deuteronomy echo that. Be strong and courageous. Do not be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go.
Right. Courage isn't about just gritting your teeth. It's directly linked to remembering that divine presence.
Which brings us to that whole concept of spiritual armor in Ephesians.
Yes, the whole armor of God.
Which is, again, not passive, right? It's something you have to actively put on.
Exactly. It emphasizes active, continuous engagement. You're putting it on to stand against spiritual forces. It's a posture of readiness.
Okay, so let's break that down a bit. The belt of truth, breastplate of righteousness, what are those really about?
Well, the belt of truth, it's like the core piece holding it all together. It speaks to integrity, honesty, living truthfully inside and out.
Got it. And the breastplate?
Righteousness. It protects your vital organs, your heart. It's about living in right relationship with God, with others, based on divine principles. Inner integrity.
And the shoes? Readiness for peace?
Yeah, having your feet ready with the gospel of peace means you're prepared to move, to act, to bring peace into situations you walk into.
Mm-hmm.
But the shield is maybe particularly interesting here.
The shield of faith.
Mm-hmm. It explicitly says it can extinguish all the flaming darts of the evil one.
Flaming darts. Sounds dramatic.
Well, think of them as attacks on the mind. Doubts, fears, anxieties, temptations, those things that try to undermine your peace and security from the inside. Faith is the active defense against those.
Ah, so it's internal defense as much as external. That's a key insight.
Definitely. And then you have the helmet of salvation protecting your mind, your thoughts, keeping them aligned with hope and truth.
And the sword.
The sword of the Spirit, which is the Word of God. That's both defensive and offensive. It's about knowing truth and being able to wield it. Taken together, it's a picture of holistic defense where your character and your active trust are your protection.
Okay, so this whole picture is really about actively cultivating a culture of blessing, isn't it? Not just hoping for good luck.
Exactly. And a huge part of that culture involves understanding these promises of abundance and provision.
What do the scriptures say about that? Because sometimes that can feel a bit abstract.
They actually get quite practical.
Yeah.
Deuteronomy 28 lists blessings for obedience that are very concrete. Being blessed in the city, the field, your children, your crops, your livestock.
Wow, that covers pretty much everything.
It really does. It even mentions your basket and your kneading bowl. It's about productivity and supply in everyday life. It also mentions enemies being defeated when they attack. Very specific.
And Philippians assures us God will supply every need according to his riches. That's a big promise.
It is. And Jeremiah adds that God's plans are for our welfare, for a future and a hope. It speaks to a positive divine intention for us.
There's also talk of windows of heaven opening.
Right, Malachi mentions that, blessings pouring down. And Psalm 31 talks about goodness stored up for those who fear God. It suggests a constant available flow.
So it's not just material things, though they're included. It seems deeply connected to our character and how we build community.
Absolute crucial connection. Colossians talks about putting on compassion, kindness, humility, patience, forgiving each other, and above all, love, which binds everything together.
So how do those virtues create a blessed dwelling?
Well, think about it. Those qualities, kindness, forgiveness, love, they create the atmosphere of the home or community. They foster safety, respect, value. That is shalom in action.
Makes sense. And then there are practical things like hospitality.
Yes, Romans and Hebrews encourage genuine love, showing hospitality. Hebrews even adds that surprising detail about possibly entertaining angels without knowing it.
That's amazing. It makes you think differently about welcoming people, doesn't it?
It really does. It elevates everyday kindness. And then 1 Timothy links, providing for your household directly to faith. Practical care matters.
So all these character traits, these actions, they build that blessed environment. Like Psalm 133 says, how good and pleasant it is when brothers dwell in unity.
Exactly. Unity isn't just nice, it's presented as something incredibly good, something that unlocks blessing.
Okay, so how does this all weave into just daily life? Trust seems to be the absolute linchpin.
It's the bedrock, definitely. Proverbs says, trust in the Lord with all your heart Acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths.
That sounds like trust is the guide.
It is. And it's an act of reliance. Proverbs contrasts the Lord blessing the dwelling of the righteous with the curse on the house of the wicked.
And righteous here means more than just rule following?
Yeah, it's about living in right relationship, acting justly, integrity. That kind of life naturally fosters a flourishing environment. The opposite creates its own problems.
And how do you make these principles stick day to day? Deuteronomy has a really detailed advice.
Oh, yeah. Teaching the words diligently to your children, talking about them constantly when you sit, walk, lie down, get up, writing them on your doorpost.
It's like total immersion.
Exactly. Embedding these truths into the rhythm of the home, shaping the family culture, the next generation.
And then there's that simple, but maybe not easy, instruction from 1 Thessalonians. Rejoice always, pray without ceasing, give thanks.
It captures that posture of trust, doesn't it? Cultivating inner gratitude and connection no matter what's happening outside.
That's tough sometimes. Rejoice always.
It is. It's about a fundamental heart posture, though. And Matthew connects this to not worrying about basic needs, food, drink, clothes.
But instead, seek first the kingdom of God.
Right. Trusting that if you align your life and your dwelling with those highest priorities, blessing and protection will naturally follow. It's about getting the foundation right.
Wow. Okay, so looking back at all this, it's clear this isn't about just sitting back and waiting. It's a really active, interwoven approach.
Definitely. Building with wisdom, living out certain character traits, actively trusting, recognizing that divine presence. It's all connected. A holistic path to well-being.
And that idea of the house is so much bigger than just four walls. It's relationships, our inner state, our daily habits.
Exactly. All contributing to that deep sense of peace and security we talked about at the start.
So that leaves us with a thought, doesn't it? Considering how much these scriptures talk about intentionally building this kind of house, what part of your own dwelling, maybe your actual home, maybe your relationships, maybe just your inner world, feels like the place you're most called to build up or strengthen using these ideas this week?